Hey everybody, Zach here. Welcome back to the channel. In this video, we're going to talk about Alchemy Pay. So this one is an interesting one. It kind of came out of nowhere a couple of days ago when it got listed on Coinbase. We saw a huge rise in this one, jumped all the way up to 24 cents. It's fallen back now, about 10 cents right now. So is it a good time to get into Alchemy Pay? We're going to dive into what this is. It's actually already in 65 different countries, connecting global payment systems. So we're going to talk a little bit about this. Not going to lie, this one kind of flew under the radar for a little while. It got listed on Coinbase about 4 or 5 days ago, and I kind of missed the boat on this one, but it's still a decent time maybe to add on after everybody has kind of sold off and taken those initial profits. So we're going to talk about Alchemy Pay a little bit here. Also, we're going to talk about the Fear and Greed Index, how that relates to Alchemy Pay, as well as some of the things that Alchemy is working on for the future, some of the things that are down the pike a little bit for Alchemy Pay. This one's very similar to AMP, and I know a lot of people here on the channel own AMP, and we've talked about that many times. You could think of AMP kind of more situated in the United States with the collateral. They're working in the collateral area. But this one here, Alchemy, this is more global. All right, so we're going to hop into that first because I want to show you kind of how they're connecting everything. And it says it right here on their website, which interestingly, this website was down for a long time. Given all the traffic that they've had over the past 4 or 5 days, this is the first time I've been able to load the website. So, okay, right here they say 65 countries, 300 fiat and crypto payment channels. And if you scroll down here, this is where it gets interesting. You can see all the various countries that they're already partnered with. In addition to this, they've got 100 strategic partners and developers, big companies, right? Hubai, Binance. We've got Shopify somewhere on this list too. That's really the big one. There it is right there, Shopify. That's really the big one that sold me on this company. Shopify is huge. If you look at Shopify in on the stock market side of things, it's grown tremendously over the past couple of years, especially. I think this is definitely one that you should have on your radar. This is one that I'll be adding to periodically. I've already opened up a position. I'm not going to lie, a little bit down right now because I got in right about right in here where it was 14, 15 cents. But I'm not worried about it because right now you can add on to that position. But of course you can always just hold on to it because eventually this thing will run up again. So this was the big run up. These are our candlesticks here. So if we scroll into August 6th, 2 days ago, we saw this thing go all the way up to 24 cents and a touch there, and then actually steadily went up a little bit more after that. I got in about right in here, but it's since sold off, kind of consolidating here at 10 cents, 9 cents, forming some kind of support down here too at about 8 cents. So maybe this is a decent area to watch here, and I'll draw a line here so you can see what I mean. We're going to need some more data here eventually to kind of see if this is a support line, but right now it's showing that it is. It's not the straightest line, but you get what I'm trying to do here. So again, we're going to have to wait and see over the next couple weeks if and when we reach this line again, does it bounce off it, and then with more data we'll be able to kind of tell. In the days range, it's at 12 cents on the high end, 8 cents on the low end, so still fluctuating quite a bit right now. 52-week range, we saw it as high as 24 cents, as low as 1 cent before the big rise due to the Coinbase listing. So how about the crypto fear and greed index here and how this relates to pretty much all assets? It basically covers Bitcoin, but as we know, Bitcoin dominates the overall market. Everything kind of follows lock and step with Bitcoin. So we could see here over the last 4 days, big increase here. And what this index is essentially showing is when this number is higher, and as you can see here, this is a plot of the fear and greed index over time, where the value of 0 means extreme fear, while value of 100 represents extreme greed. When we have extreme greed, we've got buying. We've got people adding onto their position, opening new positions. Why measure this? Well, the crypto market is very emotional, meaning people kind of have that FOMO, right? Fear of missing out. People tend to get really greedy when the market's rising. They don't want to miss out, right? They hear everybody talking about it, the news is talking about it, articles popping up, their friends are telling them about it, right? We saw that very thing happen with Bitcoin when it ran up to 64,000. Everybody was kind of jumping in probably a little bit too late, right? Then we saw the big sell-off. So also people often sell their coins in irrational reaction of seeing red numbers. it's kind of like that reverse psychology we talk about all the time, right? When the price is going down, we want to get rid of it, but in reality, we really need to be adding on to those positions that we feel really strongly about. Again, it's a weird thing psychologically because you see yourself going down in your investment and you want to get out. You want to cut your losses. With our fear and greed index, we try to save you from your own emotional overreactions. There are two simple assumptions. Extreme fear could be a sign that investors are too worried. That could be a buying opportunity. And then secondly, when investors are getting too greedy, that means the market is due for a correction. Therefore, they analyze the current sentiment of the Bitcoin market and crunch the numbers into a simple meter from 0 to 100. Really kind of a cool metric here. 0, again, meaning extreme fear, 100 meaning extreme greed. So, one thing we talk about, and these are the data sources they use here. We're going to talk about this too. But one thing we always say, which kind of goes hand in hand with this, right? If you're holding something for the long term and you have that already in your head, it's kind of easier to move day to day, right? It's hard not to look at it day to day. I understand that, but when you have that long term mindset, it helps. So these 5 metrics kind of make up the entire index: volatility. We've got market momentum and volume, social media, surveys. I think social media is the big one, even though it only represents 15%. A lot of action happens off of social media, dominance, and then trends. Google Trends, which is a metric we look at all the time here on the channel, so that's pretty cool. Okay, so that's kind of the crypto and fear and greed index. How it relates to Alchemy? Well, it relates to everything, right? I mean, you can look at this. Obviously, the best indicator is to look right at Bitcoin, but the entire market follows Bitcoin, right, as we mentioned. So let's go back to Alchemy real quick, go to their website. Actually, I want to take you over to CoinMarketCap. So we're ranked at 230 right now. We got as high, I think, as about 204, if I'm not mistaken, yesterday when this thing was still running up, actually 2 days ago now. Is this a better investment than AMP right now? That's the big question. We're actually running up as we speak, which is kind of funny. We were only at 9 cents here, and now we're running up to 11, almost 12. I think they're both big players, and I think I'm going to have both of them in the portfolio. Okay, but I want to get your thoughts on that too. Again, not financial advice, just for entertainment, informational purposes only here. You have to do your own due diligence here, but I want to have them both because I think AMP has a chance to be very big here in the United States, whereas Alchemy may be more of a global connected payment system. And there's a lot of different cryptocurrencies that are already listed there. So if we go back over to their site, it's right at the top here. Let's see here, underneath partnerships. I know I saw it somewhere. Let's see. Well, I can't find it now, but all the big ones are there, right? The XRP, the Bitcoins, the Ethereum, the Litecoins. They're already on the platform, and they're going to continue to add more and more of these assets over time. And I think you saw the Coinbase effect here recently, as so many people, 50 million active users on Coinbase. That they saw this one moving, and again, it's that FOMO, right? The greed was high, fear of missing out, everybody's jumping in, then everybody collects their profits. So we're seeing that little correction now, and it's heading back upwards, which is good to see. So hopefully you got some value here. If you did, give it a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you in the next video.